Okay. Hi, Thor. How you going?
Hi, we're good.
That's
Happy New
good.
Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you too, and
Yeah,
thanks for coming on.
yeah,
Yeah. So I know you've been listening to this podcast for a while. And you messaged me a while ago. So I've been following you on Instagram for a pretty long time. So I've been looking forward to having you on.
yeah. Well, the me too, I can say.
Yeah.
So, when you were doing the podcast about the pigs, I was sending you one small line. This happened, like Uh, so it was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And so Thor, I mean, you've obviously been running for a while, but when did you begin your running journey?
Yeah. Well, I began running a little bit. First time running was like around 2003, 4, 5. Um, that's the first time I tried it. Then in 2009, I started running, and I signed up for there's a ultra marathon in Iceland called the Laugavegurinn. So it's a 55-kilometer run, and it's like our most famous ultra run here in Iceland. And since then, I've done that every year. So it's been 15 Laugavegurinn in a row. So that's how I count the years of running.
Yeah.
So 15 years.
Yeah. And how old were you when you started running approximately?
Yeah, so I'm born in 79, so I was there around 30.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
79. Yeah, I was born in
yeah.
79 too.
Ah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking at your Strava before this, and I noticed it was in around 2019 when things actually went up a notch a little bit more. And that was the first year I noticed that you ran over 3,000 kilometers in a year. So what happened in around 2019 that inspired you, I guess, to increase the amount you were running?
I guess the easiest answer is that the kids started not caring if I was home or not.
Yeah.
So, when when my daughter was so my youngest is at around that time, what was he? She was like 9 years old, 8, 9. Then it was easier just to go out for 2 hours, or without. But I've been running a lot before that. But at that 2019, then I decided to do a 100K for the first time, and we were three of us. We were training a lot, and that ended up with me having a knee. Um, runner's knee or jumper's knee. I never remember the. So it was either one, and so I couldn't participate, and so I switched to I could run easily on even ground. It was when I started running down, then it hurt a lot, so I switched to a marathon training and went to the Amsterdam Marathon and got a personal best there. So and then I followed my two friends in the 100K, and then the next year, then I did the same race. So the previous year it was in September, but the next year it was changed to June, and I did that. That was then my first 100K, and then the September, so that's 2020. September 2020, then we had the first backyard in Iceland.
Mm. Yeah, so yeah, you are from Iceland. What's the name of the town you live in Iceland? Do you live in a big town or a city, or what's it like there?
Yeah, well, we began well, from my perspective, it's a really big one. It's in the capital.
Yeah.
So in Iceland, we are just below 400,000 people in the whole country, and I think like 60 or 70% they live here in the capital area. So so we have a small mini town, big
Yeah.
town. So
And yeah, and what's the type of running you do there? Like, do you live near mountains, or what's it like there to run?
well, if I basically it's like 500 meters for me, then I'm on a track, so I can I do that a lot. Also, so I have there's a local running club here in my neighborhood where I run with them 3 times a week at least, and then and that's more on asphalt than just and then on the weekends we either go some downtown or somewhere outside on trails. But then I do a lot of so like now it's the winter time, we have snow over everything and ice, so now it's just we just run where it's on paths that have been plowed, and then when the summer comes, then we go more on the trails and off-road. So it's very easy. It's just you know I can just run for 10 minutes and I'm just out and totally alone, and then there's a lot of mountains also that I go hiking.
Yeah, and at the moment there, I'm tipping it's pretty cold and icy there at the moment.
Yeah, it's like minus 5 degrees Celsius
Right.
in these last couple of months.
Yeah. And I was doing some reading as well, and I read that like every now and then, because Greenland's like a little bit further north than Iceland, and there's polar bears on Greenland, sometimes they make their way down to Iceland. So do you have to keep your eye out like for polar bears when you're out for a run, or?
Well, no, that's basically in the I basically live in south of Iceland,
Right.
and we do have had polar bears. Basically, they're in the Arctic on ice, and the ice breaks off, and they just float. So it happens like that. They just float away, and they're like, oh fuck, where am I now? And then they just end up in Iceland, and but it's it is it's once every 10 years or so, so it's not something that need to think about. There's no animals here that we need to be careful of or anything like that. That's
Nothing you
it's,
need to worry about.
no nothing like that.
So it seems to me, just from what I can see, the backyard ultras, they're pretty popular over there in Iceland, are they?
Yeah, pretty much. It's as I said. So in 2020 September, then we had the first backyard, and it was how many did we have? I wrote it down here. We had 100 runners for the first one,
Gee.
and so that was during the COVID, and so the 100 was the limit.
Yeah.
And then we had like in the last September, then we had about, it was like a 250 that was signed up.
Wow.
And we have another backup now in May where the limit is 200, and the sign up for that started at I think it was 30 minutes after I started in Biggs. So, and it was sold out in just couple of hours.
Wow.
And people are already like trying to asking if someone is pulling out and trying to switch tickets. So it's really popular, and and we have also we have a lot of people that are going like 3 yards and just doing their longest run like that, or training for a 50K and doing like 6 yards.
Yeah.
So that's also a really good that everyone, a lot of people are just going there for the long training and doing their maybe their longest run 40K 50K, and So it's great.
Yeah, and that first one in 2020, that was also you ran in that one, right? And that was your first backyard ultra.
Yeah, that was my first backyard, and so I knew a lot about it
Yeah.
before. I've been following Lars with his Barclays and backyards, and so when it started here, I me, three of us that run a lot together. We signed up right away. I started, preparing, and now it was real. Okay, now I have to. What do I do? Chair and this food and this, and I started preparing for the to doing the whole night and everything. And I got my wife to crew and my daughters, so they were gonna switch. And so when we showed up to the race, we had like a two big boxes of stuff, and everyone just looked at us like, what the fuck are they doing? What's happening? Everyone had like a small pack or something,
Yeah.
and just and I remember when I finished the first loop. So at that time I was really focused on doing it slow because I was really afraid of stopping between to get all stiff up and everything. So I did the first one in like 55 minutes or so. And when I came into the ground, I remember someone saying something like yeah, good, you're gonna do more, or like it's like I was so slow that they were like okay, so you think you can have one more in your feet? And I was like, yeah. So then just and my goal was to do 100 miles, and I knew that if I would do one more, then I would have a really big chance of winning because of the basically of the history. A lot of these backers are won in 25 yards, and that's what happened. After 24, then the other two quit, and I finished it. So I won the first one.
Yeah,
So that was
for a country's first backyard ultra, for it to go 25 yards, I mean that's a lot. Especially in 2020, like a lot of countries' very first backyard ultras, they usually finish around 18 to 20 yards for their very first one.
yeah. I mean, we also there is a lot of trail running community in Iceland. So there's a lot of so this is really popular, and this was and I mean, and this is, I mean, the backyard in Iceland, it is really popular. That's you can just say it like that. It is. I mean, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And what are the courses, or what are the courses over there like? Are they flat, or do you have different varying courses there, or some flat ones, some hilly
Yeah.
ones, or what are they like?
Yeah. So we have two different courses for the main backyard for the backyard here. So we have one in it's called Hedmark. So it's like a 15-minute drive out of the city. So it's from my house. It's like a 3K run there.
Yeah.
And so there is we run on trails, and it's about I think it was like 80 meters of 80 meters or something of like of elevation.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty good one. It's like a small, and there's this good amount of hills, and so it's a really good one. And then so that's the fall course, and then we have the spring one. So that's basically held in the city in a park we have there, and that's about 60% on asphalt and about 100 meters of, or just a little bit over 100 meters of elevation. And and then we have the third one that we use for the satellite.
Yeah.
And that's we try to have create a flat one and also a little bit more in the city, because in October we can have icy and snow. So that's 50 meters of elevation.
Yeah.
Of course.
Do you know, is the plan to have the Sat Champs at that same course again in 2024?
Yeah, I think so. It's I think I'm like I think I can say definitely yes.
Yeah.
So, and it's also very, so we have it's old, so we have a house that we can be in, and they just opened a coffee house basically next to it. So now it's even better for the for people to be watching.
Yeah.
And we had in the last satellite we had like people watching,
Yeah.
basically the whole time. Like I mean, they were like from 10 people up to 100 people just watching.
Wow.
And we had a live broadcast, TV broadcast the whole time.
All right.
And so we have a news station here and a television so they were just broadcasting this on their webpage.
Oh, cool.
And they were so it was very similar to the from Biggs. So except they didn't have anyone in on the course so much, but they had a really big coverage and doing a lot of interviews. So it was really great.
Yeah.
And people like to watch it here. It's so it's so simple. You just log on.
Yeah.
15 minutes before and see what's happening, and then you log off, and so it's
and it is exciting to watch as well, especially when it starts getting deep into the race. It's really exciting to watch. So if it was on TV, like streamed on TV there, and you had all these people watching, are you kind of like well known there as a runner? Like, are you kind of like a well-known sports person in Iceland?
well in 2020 when I did my first one, then basically no one knew who I was, and and I remember when people were like in the basically in the late yards, people were asking, so who is this guy, and pointing to me. I was the one that was looking the freshest one.
Yeah.
And so after that, okay, people knew my name a little bit, and then basically last and then last was it so 1.5 years ago. So basically, if I would take one step back, we had basically the first backyard with the 2020 with 25 yards, and then we had the 1 year later we had another backyard, and I had some injuries there, just recovered from some infection and stuff. So we had 6 silver tickets there in that race. So when I was in top 6, I quit.
Right.
And I told my wife before going out on the 6th one, okay, just prepared. If we are 7, then I'm returning. Like so luckily we were only 6, so I finished that one and quit. And then in that year, Mari, she won it with 25 yards. And then basically the next year, April, then we had the backyard in the spring one. And after 30 yards, we were just three left, me, Mari, and Floki. And then people, it just something like happened. So, they were going on Instagram live, the race every, 50 minutes before, showing this, and people were like, so it was like, it just blew up a little bit.
Yeah.
And everyone was just watching it, and, so I could feel it on the Sunday. It was just, we're doing 30, 31, like, people were just coming, and, a lot of my, friends and family, people I haven't seen for a long time, coming and just, waving. So that ended up with, we were running just over midnight on Sunday evening. And after 42 yards, I quit. And Mari, she won it with 43. So after that, basically, a lot of people knew who I was. And then I went to the Masters in Germany in last May. And Mari also, actually, she was basically gonna try to. So yeah, there also in the middle we had the satellite champ, where everyone was watching me and Mari, so who would win.
Yeah.
And so I won that one with 37 yards and got my golden ticket. And so both of us went to the Backyard Masters in Germany, and she had the goal of reaching 55, 60 to go to Bigs. And unfortunately that didn't happen. And my goal was to make do a personal best, and we were doing a lot of, Instagram live, and that was just ridiculously, popular. So there was like, I think it was like 2,000-3,000 people watching.
Wow.
When we were live.
Yeah.
And I had like 500 followers on, Instagram, and I could almost tell you everyone was, it's my mother and her sister, all the followers. But then all of a sudden I had like just below, 4,000 followers in just 1 day, and everyone was watching. And it was just, a lot of fun, just to feel you just feel everyone is with you and excited, and so it was great. And when I think that when I finished the Bigs, then the guys that were talking to me, say, oh, so how was it going? And then I asked them, so yeah, and how many are watching? I was like, a couple of hundred. So like, I know, a little bit slower in your mind after running. So like, a couple of hundreds. So I was like so surprised. I thought it was like, I'm used to everyone watching.
Yeah.
Couple of hundreds, and I was like, and then I was, fuck, maybe it was a little bit harsh, this comment, but yeah, it is really, really popular in Iceland. That's for true.
So that results in Germany, the Race of Champions. So you ran your big PB, you did 50 yards. That must have given you a lot of confidence before Bigs.
Yeah. Well, after doing my 42 yards and 37 in the satellite, I knew I could, basically after the 32 yards, when I quit there, I knew that, okay, my weakness is, when I go into the night, it just, the the pressure and the darkness just eats me. So I need to work on that. And so when I did the satellite, then my family, my sister said, so, what can we do to help you? So I said, oh, well, the night is always a difficult one. So, okay, so we'll just put up a tent on the course, we'll put up a lot of lights, and we'll just cheer you on like crazy. And they did that. So my sisters and family, they were there the whole night, the first night, and ready for the second one, and just cheering on, and then a lot of people were joining them, and so we basically the whole team got a lot of cheerful you know set of to help us. So when I went to the masters, I knew that I had, if I could, I just needed to do the night, and I believed that I could do that. So 50 yards was like okay, I know I can do that. 48, 50 yards, and so that was and so it was a tough, at least tough morning there. I finished the remember when I finished the 43 yards. So when I did my PP, then I came in, and my sisters and wife and daughter. So basically they're my sister, oldest daughter, and my wife, sister, two sisters and daughter. They were there with me. And so after 43 years, I came in, and they were like all excited. I was like, "Hey, where's the cheering? I got my personal best here." And they were like, "Yeah, what? That's no. You need to do the you need to do more to do the natural record. Personal best is nothing now." So then I came in the next one, and they had the Icelandic flag, and cheered for that, and then we just continued, and so the next goal was 48 and 50, and there was these basically after I finished the doing the national record and finished was like 46th lap, then I just all of a sudden I just broke down. I was just finished. It was really, really hard, and I was just crying a lot. Couldn't see. I was just trying to wipe my tears, and my wife, she was taking a nap, so my daughter was there, and so I was just okay. I'm gonna finish these. Just told her I'm gonna finish 48 hours. I'm gonna do that, and then you will just you'll let me, you just let me quit. And she was, yeah, just do the 48, and then when I came in after 48 hours, then came in, and then I just hugged her, and I said, oh, just can I quit now, please let me quit. And she was like, yeah, you're great, you're doing great. And then I just felt my wife pulling me, like, come on now, sit down here, I have to have this. And then I was just out again, and it was pretty crazy, and finished two more, finished the 50 yards, and then all of a sudden I was just done like a 1K of the course, and just for some reason I just quit. It was still can't explain it.
Yeah. So Bigs in October. Had you been to the US before, or was that your first time?
No, I've been in USA for many time, and I've been all over the world. I think that basically Australia is the ocean. It's the only continent I have not been to,
Oh, right.
except Antarctica also. But
Yeah.
so I've been in USA many times, and so I was not stressed for anything like that, and basically, and if we go a little bit into the bigs, then the preparation for that was I had some injuries. Basically, I was feeling a little bit hurt in my knee, and so I could run, but if I did like 10, 15, it started hurting. So I couldn't do any long runs, and I was trying to find out with my therapist what was to fix it, and basically the result was it's in my calf, and that was basically that took a lot out of my training. So I was not prepared as much. And also another fact was that uh, basically last summer we had a roof being repaired, me and my neighbor. So we were having some constructors, fixing that for us, and they well, they didn't do quite enough good job, and they just vanished. So we had like an open roof here that we needed to. So I ended up going up on the roof for like 2 weeks, I just needed to fix it.
Right.
That also took out. So that was in September. So that took all of my, training and just messed everything up a little bit. So it's
Yeah.
so I when I went to Pigs, I knew that I didn't have, I didn't have anything for a personal best or anything like that. So my goal was just to go and enjoy it, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I saw leading into the race of champions in Germany, the leading you had, the mileage was a lot more than the mileage you had leading into big. So I remember hearing about your knee, and I thought maybe that was mainly due to your knee injury.
Yeah, well, it was the knee injury was hindering me from the long runs, um, and then I had this roof thing that was taking a lot of like time and energy from me. So so it was so I mean, at least I know now I need to after I need to like rest more. I need to respect that more. So at least I've learned that. I
Yeah.
think.
And so did you go into bigs like with a goal? Like with something that did you know what you wanted to achieve at bigs?
Well, my only goal was there just to go and have fun. I basically had like a zero expectations. So I said, okay, if I do 3 yards, then it's like a victory. So I just gonna have fun and just not worry about, hopefully not be the first one out.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, the only goal maybe was like not have to quit because of my injuries and that was I at least I didn't feel any pain in my knee or calf or anything, but I could feel it right away. Like, okay, I'm not fully there. I'm not. I was tired right away, and so it was. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the running and the loops. Enough. It was the best time I had, but also I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
So it's and I was really worried about the course. I heard about this a lot of elevation on the day course, and we arrived to USA on Sunday, and on Monday to the town there, Murfreesboro, and so on Wednesday I went and visited Lars and did one loop, and I was actually surprised. It was actually easier than I thought it was.
Right.
So I was expecting a lot harder, but
Yeah.
but it was but I'm not saying it was easy. So, but it was easier than I thought it was.
Yeah.
So if we go into the race a little, then I was working fine the first day. Um, I could feel a lot, tired. So it was a very technical course, and I'm not used to running these, high technical courses. Like, you always have to watch out for every step. There's a stone, there's a root. So, I'm not used to that in my running like that with this high focus, which is saying like that. So after so when the day was, when I did the first night loop, my mind was just, just totally exhausted. I couldn't. I was just looking forward to go to the night course and just run and not think about anything.
Yeah.
So I was just so much looking excited for that. And then, when I did the first one, I was just looking down on the ground and just enjoy not thinking. So it was nice. I knew that I could. I felt okay. I knew that I could finish the night. So I did that, and then I was more worried about the next day, what would happen on the day course. I could feel my legs were really tired, and what would, so afraid of getting maybe cramps and stuff on the day course. So when I just told my wife, okay, I'm just gonna take one at a time and let's see what happens, and then I did the first one pretty slowly, just to see just to see how I was doing. That went okay. Did the second one, so I was a little bit slower, and then I could just feel okay. It's it just I'm not having any fun. It was just so I was just tired, and I was just like it doesn't matter for me if I do at that time, if I finish now 27 or if I do 30, 35, it doesn't matter. If I had like let's say if I had to finish like 10 yards to do a personal best, then I think I would have done that and could have done that, but there was no I didn't have the why.
Yeah.
Just so I just on the 27th loop I decided to, okay, no, I'm just gonna quit. So I was just running slowly, and then I started thinking, okay, so should I time out or should I finish the loop? And I go, okay, if I finish it, and then I stop, everyone's going, oh, continue, and they're like, no. So I don't want to have that argument. Okay, I'll just do it slowly and just time out. So I'll just do 26 yards. That's fine. Okay. And then I was getting closer to him, and I could hear the whistle, and so I was like, okay, so okay, I'm too close to the, okay, let's just finish this, and then I just quit. I'm gonna finish it with like 20 seconds, and then I'll just quit. And then when I came to the goal, I heard the last whistle, and I just ran, and I was super relaxed. I was like certain I had like 20 seconds, but everyone was opening up and cheering me on, and I went over the line, and then everyone went, go back. And I was like, oh, what's all this stress?
Yeah.
And then I went over the line, and then just the next one started. So I finished the last one with like 2 seconds, and
Yeah.
so it was a pretty. So it was not as dramatic as it was on TV, at least in my mind, as we say like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was definitely exciting, that finish of that yard. I remember watching that.
Yeah.
I remember, like, after you finished as well, you did the interview, and you did mention that you were having zero fun. That they're the words you used. You're having zero fun.
Yeah.
There. So when did you realize that the race was no longer fun? Like, do you remember when it was that you stopped having fun?
Well, it was basically just from, like, I mean, it basically from first loop, or
Right.
just it was just it was it was both. It was the most fun I've had in my life,
Yeah.
but also I didn't enjoy it. It's like so it's so there was so it's like it's difficult to describe. Also, I don't I knew I wouldn't go any long distance, so I was like um so so it was also I just wanted to I just felt down a little bit also. I was tired and was not in a big mood to talk to people.
Right.
So I was like, just talking a little bit and then just, running alone. And so it's like as I said, I didn't enjoy it enough. So I just, quit. And also, okay, now I'm just gonna quit. So I have, just so I have energy just to watch
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
And, that was a lot of fun. And, I've been joking about it that, next time I'm there, then I'm just gonna do like a 24 yards, and then just gonna quit, just to watch it. And so, so that's much more fun.
So you mentioned the trail at Biggs being hard. Was there anything like it in Iceland to train on, or it was totally different from anything in Iceland?
Well, as I said, it's very technical. So you always what you're running, and there's like a there's like a you can never like it. I think you can most easily describe it like when you're running on the course, you cannot go on your telephone and
Yeah.
type in message,
Yeah.
because then you will basically fall.
Yeah.
It's you always have to watch the ground and be focused. So when you're running on on a easy course and just on asphalt, then you can just be on your telephone, texting someone while you're running.
Yeah.
And so that was maybe the hard. You're always the focus thing was take a lot of out of me. And I felt tired. I remember like in somewhere like after like 7 yards maybe, then I need to switch shoes, and I was gonna stop somewhere to fasten my shoelaces, and I lifted my foot on a rock, and then got some cramp, and then at that time I was like, fuck, this is not good, this shouldn't happen, and I was like stopping, and then everyone was passing me, and then you feel like, fuck, you're not supposed to have a cramp at this time. It's like so it's you feel a little bit humiliated. You're here with all the heroes, and you're just and like we haven't even done 50K. What are you doing? You're having cramps, like so it's so it's so it's yeah.
Do you considering you're from Iceland where it is quite cold, I understand it was pretty hot at Big. So do you think was the heat an issue for you over there?
Well, at Bix, then basically just my body and lack of training, that was the issue. So
Yeah.
okay, if we go back to the Masters, then I could really feel the heat. So there we had like 25 to 30 degrees over the day, and for me that was really hard, and I was just melting away, and I was feeling very hot, and I just told my crew, okay, go and just buy a lot of ice and stuff, and ice cream, some popsicles.
Yeah.
So I was just eating between I was eating popsicles and just starting the loop with some popsicles, and I had my running vest on me, and I just just like the Salomon running vest, and I was just filling all the pockets with ice.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was just feeling really hot, and I mean, and I think in some of the first yards, I was pretty fun that I was standing on the line, and I was setting my vest, ice all over, and then next to me was the guy from Sweden, I think, and he was there wearing a long sleeve shirt and actually had a hat on.
Right.
So it's like, so it's a pretty. You see it. I was not heated up enough for this.
Yeah.
So it's.
So I did see on the live stream that you were there watching it, and you could tell you were like enjoying watching the race, like you said. Were there any runners who you were just watching and thinking to yourself, like, I just can't believe what I'm seeing right now, just what they were doing out there?
Well, no. I mean, we had like before the race, we had these usual suspects that we were like, who was going to end up top 10.
Mm.
And so, I could see, maybe I was a little bit surprised on Sam Harvey. I could see from just the beginning that he was not really, he was not enjoying it enough. I could see it right away in his eyes and everything.
Mm.
So, but I don't know him, so I don't know if that's just how he is, or because he's always, happy and cheering on, Instagram, and when you see him like from distance, so that he was really, so he looked well, and as he said, he was like maybe feeling a little bit like me, just tired. But then we have like a Ihor who did a lot of, but I didn't know anything about him or anything, so so it was you can't say it's a surprise because you didn't have any expectations or anything to for but, but it was yeah, I mean, I think that just overall it was a surprise that it went that long. Actually, I thought it would not. I didn't think we would do the world record there.
Right.
With this course. So
Yeah, I did notice on the live stream that you were helping Ihor a bit between loops. So you mentioned you didn't know each other before the race, but did you get to know each other like while you're out there running a little bit? Like, did you talk to him during the night loop?
no, he's he's running so much faster that I didn't meet him at all.
Right. Yeah.
So well, from the Masters, I knew some of the runners, and from there I knew Amanda from Canada and her sister. So when we finished, when I finished, then I went to Melissa, her sister, and was asking her, so how is Amanda doing and everything. So and then we thought, okay, we're gonna in the evening we're gonna go and home, go to sleep and everything. So we'll be here tomorrow morning. So if you need anything, just let us know. We'll just. And she was, yeah, okay. And then the next morning we woke up. So that was on the Monday, and we were just turning on the TV, watching the live feed, and
Yeah.
and we were like, yeah, we should, trying to decide when we should go and watch the race again. And so basically, after you finish, you can go home, you can come again and watch it, you and your crew, but not anymore. People just and so we were just watching, and then I could see Amanda coming in, and I could see, okay, she's really tired, or you can see from the heat. And then so I said, well, we should maybe get going. So we I sent a message to Melissa. I said, so hi, we're just about to you know, come to the come to the race. Is there anything you need? And then I was like, I couldn't even. It was like 2 seconds later. It was like, ice. Can you bring ice? And I was like, told my wife, we need to go now. And then it was basically it was like a 25 minutes to the whole hour, and it was like it was a 22 minute drive there. So I had to say, okay, just, and then 2 seconds later she sent someone was gonna bring popsicles. I don't know, etc. So we just threw ice in the car and we had some popsicles through that, and then I just drove there. And then just my wife was preparing, taking the ice and the popsicles ready, have it in a bag, and then we parked, took the bag, ran, and it was like so it was like 2 or 3 minutes to the start. So I gave her some ice and popsicle, and so it was and then I just ended up there for a few hours helping Melissa, and so that was really fun. And then see and then at somewhere there around I met Ihor and and his crew. Can't remember now what his crew was called, her name, but met her a little bit, and and then basically the evening when the race was about to be over, and then I was just there, and I was telling her, so do you need anything? I was like, no, I'm good, and it was just also just like good to the crew also needs a lot of like support, and also like not just and they also just need like a mental support, just to talk to them. And I was there and asking her, so how is it doing? And she said, I'm doing this and I'm doing, yeah, that sounds good, and then I just somehow ended up helping him a little bit. And David Stoltenberg also from Denmark, he was there. So we were so there was a lot of fun. And
so looking back at Bigs, like what did you learn from Bigs that you'll use in backyard ultras in the future?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, you can. I mean, it's pretty funny to see. For example, if you watch Harvey there, you could see. Okay, of course, he only needed to drive like 3 hours or such, and so you could see from his tent. So he had everything like, perfect setup. So I could learn a lot from, his setup and, little things here and there. So I don't know. I don't know if there's anything, special. It's like, everyone is more or less in the end, is more or less doing the same. It's yeah.
And looking back now at Bigs with your 27 yards, how do you feel about it? Like, are you happy with the 27, or do you think back and think, oh, I kind of wish I went a little bit more, or are you thinking, yeah, look, I'm happy with the 27?
Yeah, I am really happy. I just, as I said, I had no expectations, so I'm just really happy with it. I know I could have done, easily 3, 4 more, then I don't know, maybe 10 more, but I just, so I'm really happy,
Yeah, good.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna do better in next year.
Yeah.
So So we are recording this on January 1st.
Yeah.
So 2025, I gotta do better.
Yeah. Now, a few people have asked me recently, how do people use their watches in backyard ultras and like record their runs on Strava or whatever? How do you do it? Like, do you just press start at the start of the race and just let it run, or do you press the reset at the start of each loop? Or yeah, how do you use your watch to record the backyard ultra runs?
Yeah. Well, I have at least I try to minimize the GPS usage. So from so I have a Garmin, so I've set that down to uh, GPS only or something that use a little bit less, battery.
Yeah.
And then it's the difference between. So when I was doing the race in Iceland, then we are going inside into the house, and when you go in, then you lose the satellite a lot. And so I always, after I go over the line, I stop the watch, and then when I start again, I start it again.
Right.
And that's because else it's gonna be like jumping a little bit, and you're gonna do like an extra 100 meters, and so that uses a lot of battery also. So I've been doing that, and when I was in I've even just stopped and just trip back to just to see the clock and just to see the time, and then during the race I'm watching the average pace, so I know that if I do like just below, what was it, 9 minutes or 8, I know I have a little sticker in my pocket that says like if I do a 6 pace, then it's 42 minutes, and so I know a little bit the average pace, and so I follow that. And so yeah, that's basically I at least I so the answer is basically I stop it between loops.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and also, I mean, if the battery is almost over, then it's also easy I just carry a battery with me for one yard, and
Oh yeah.
and just charge it while running.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, because you can get some pretty small little battery packs, can't you?
yeah, exactly. And you just if you have like a vest, then it's just once you've done the first 100 meters, you don't notice it. It's just there. So
yeah. And so, what are your backyard ultra plans for 2024?
yeah, so the main goal is the satellite, of course.
Yeah.
And just to do that, and win that, and get the golden ticket again. And in the spring, I'm gonna my focus now is to do the Iceland, the backyard in Iceland in 4th of May, and so that's the goal there. Just,
yeah,
and then some shorter, longer, local races.
I saw that you would know Friedrich Benedictson.
Yeah.
I saw that he's recently employed Sam Harvey as his coach, and
exactly.
Yeah, and he's been posting on Instagram. He's making it known that he's going after your Iceland record. So it sounds like you've got some pretty good, healthy competition going on there as well.
Yeah, that was So he lives. I know him from just from the racing and stuff. But he lives. He lives like 2 or 3 hours away. So I just see him sometimes when he comes into the here, and we can just go for a run together. But So he hired Sam as his trainer.
Yeah.
So basically they set the goal to he just wanted to be the best.
Yeah.
um, and Sam actually he put that up on Instagram, that like welcome to the welcome to the, and just how like what was it like, welcome, and journey to Iceland #1.
Yeah.
So I so it was our pretty, so I just decided to answer that, and just saying no way, and so it was small friendly, you know so it's so I hope he's gonna do well, at least, but not too well, of course.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you're going to have a good team, like with you, Friedrich, and you've got Marie too, and you've probably got others as well who are very good runners who can do good totals.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we had last satellite. I don't remember how many of us. So we had like maybe half the team have done 24 hours before.
Mm,
So now we will at least have everyone who's had 24 hours.
yeah,
So now to get into the team, you need 25
right. Yeah,
hours to. So it will probably end with like somewhere between 40 and 50 yards
yeah,
for the winning,
yeah.
but maybe we'll see.
Now I saw that there's a backyard ultra over there called Heavy Metal Backyard Ultra. Do you know that one?
No, that's in Finland.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's so, and so Mari, she no, sorry, not in Finland. It's in Estonia. Sorry, it's in
Right.
Estonia. Sorry. Okay, and Mari, she's from Estonia, and so she went there basically last year, or 2023. She went there to do did a race there, and I think she ended up doing 39 or 40 yards or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was so that was in Estonia.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because I know that heavy metal is popular over there in those Nordic countries like Iceland. So do you like heavy metal as well?
Yeah. Yeah, not maybe when I'm doing the backyards, then it's more like a, I don't know, more like a happy music,
Yeah.
like when you're doing the night loops. I really want to just listen to some happy, uh, happy music, as I said, like
Yeah.
something to cheer on. And
Um, so what would your three backyard ultra tips be, Thor?
yeah, that is a good one. uh, I I would say, you know consistency, and in the training, consistency and patience. That's very that's important. Believe in your goals, and just it takes a lot of time to you know you will get better and better, but it takes time, and so you need to be patient, and basically if you stay injury free, that's the best training,
Mm.
if you can do the consistency. And also, second point was, you know don't try to invent the wheel with these things. you
Yeah.
know just, you know there's a lot of people that done a lot of these backyard, and just try to copy everything, and also do your own thing, but uh, don't try to outsmart everyone with, like, now there's I've heard a little bit about some people are not doing any like to not take in too much carbs, for example, trying to do more like a fat and protein, and if that works for them, then great. But for me, it's like okay, just just copy others. Everyone is doing carbs and just doing that,
Yeah.
so that must be correct.
Yeah.
It's like uh, and then my final tip is uh, you have to go and get the win. You can't don't wait for the other one to lose. So when you're that last two standing or something, then you have to go out and you have to win. Don't wait for the other one to lose. Once you start waiting for the other one to lose, then you start losing. You have to know that I'm gonna do 10 more easily and just do that. And then if someone tells you in 3 hours, no, you cannot do anymore, you're the last one, sorry, then you won it. Because, so for me, that's really important to not focus on the other, like watching them too much and waiting for them to quit.
Yeah.
Just watch yourself and think, I'm gonna do more and more and more and, go for the win.
Yeah, very good. So obviously your goal is to go back to bigs in 2025.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome.
Unless Frederick runs longer than me, but then I'll maybe join him as the crew.
Yeah, 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 very good. Yeah, well, look, thanks heaps for coming on, Thor. Well done on everything you've done in backyards, and all the best for 2024. I'll be following you along, and yeah, hopefully you do make it back to bigs, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah. Thanks.
No worries. Have a good day. Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
If you've enjoyed this podcast, it would be awesome if you could share, comment, like, subscribe, all of that. If you've got any feedback, shoot me a message. Hope you have a great day. See ya.